Hi amigas, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're going to be doing a makeup look today. I have done a lot of these on like my YouTube shorts as well as my TikTok, so let's bring it to the YouTube. Let's bring it to some long form content. So the look that I want to be doing today is like a cool tone slash alternative baddie makeup look. I'll put up some inspo pictures here. This is what I ended up coming up with, so if you feel like watching, please move along. Let's get on with the makeup look. Okay, let's get started. I have already done my skin prep as well as my brows, so we are going to move on to the eyeshadow. Whenever it comes to like doing makeup looks that are a little bit more on the heavier side, I like to start off with my eyeshadow first and then my base. So for starters, I'm going to be going in with this Everlasting Eye Base by Dominique. This is just their eyeshadow primer. I like using this for whenever I do really dramatic eye looks just because it is very, very light in color and it allows for a really good base for my eyeshadow. So I'm just going to be applying this all over my lids evenly. To set the eyeshadow primer, I'm going to be taking this palette, the Morphe Matte Essentials palette, and using this light color. It's at the very top row. It's the second color to the top. And I'm just going to be applying that all over my lid just to kind of mattify the cream. And then we look just like that, a little scary. Okay. Now with a big fluffy brush, make sure that it's clean because we are working with really light colors. And if you have like a pink or anything like that, it is going to pick it up. So just dusting off my brush a little bit as much as I can. And then dipping into the same palette. I am going to be dipping into this palette pretty much the whole video just because it is my only cool tone palette. And the color that we're going to be going in is the first color on the bottom row, which is like a really, really light gray. Remember to tap off the excess, and I'm just going to be applying this more towards the outer corner of my eye and then slightly bringing it in as well. Whenever you're doing this, just making sure that you're kind of going in like little swooshy motions so that way you are blending it into your eye and it doesn't seem as super harsh of a color on top of your eyelid. And the same thing that we do for one eye, we are going to be doing it for the other. Okay, now that I have that gray all blended out, I am going to go in with the very first color in the palette. It is the very first top row color, which is a bright white color. And I'm just going to be adding this towards the inner corner and moving it in towards the middle, just to brighten up the eye really, really well. Whew. That brightened up the eye a lot. Lovely. Okay, I think we're good for the eyeshadow for now. Now I'm gonna go on to doing my base. So let's go do the base first. The primer that I have really been loving and using for a very, very long time is the Dominique Cooling Blur Primer. This primer has been in my makeup bag for about a year now. I don't even know if it's expired yet. No, it says 12 months. I got this back in like October last year, and she has lasted me quite a bit. I only have this much left, so once this is over, I need a new primer. I need to figure out what new primer that I can try out and test and see and which one that I like. But as for right now, this is the one that I have been using. I really like it because it mattifies my face. I do have oily to combo skin, and I'm relatively fairly oily on my T-zone area, so this really helps calm down the oil in my skin. As for my base, I have been loving the Kylie Skin Tint. This is the one that I've been using for the summer. I am in the shade 4.5 WN. I really like this. It doesn't feel super heavy. It's not necessarily like a foundation, but it does feel very light and nice on the skin while still adding full coverage, which I love. And then with my wet foundation brush, I just like to go ahead and dab it all in. Okay, now for contour, the coolest cool tone contour that I do have is the Morphe Shape Lifter. It is in the shade Refined. It is kind of cool tone, but not really, so it's cool tone than like my regular summer one. So we'll be using this one. I'm just gonna be applying it onto all of the spots that I normally apply my contour, which is my forehead, and then my cheekbone area, and then my nose. I feel like in all of the photos that I showed you for this inspo of the makeup look, that a lot of these girls have a really chiseled out nose, so I have to make sure that this looks very, very snatching. I'm gonna kind of drag it out to my eyebrows like that. In little swooping motions, just making sure to really blend it out. And we will blend more. A lot of these cool tone baddies like to use a like bubblegum bright like pastel pink. So the only brightest pink I have is this one by Juvia's Place. This one's pretty old. This one is in the blush lily color. So I'm going to be taking that on the back of my hand since she is really, really bright bubblegum pink color. I'm going to be adding in a little bit of concealer so that way we can brighten her up and it'll be that pastel bright white pink that we want. I'm going to apply it to the apples of my cheeks. Now we have our blush on. We are going to be going in with concealer. Same concealer I've been using this whole entire time, which is the Maybelline Age Rewind concealer. And I kind of like to do a triangle shape to allow for whenever light does hit my face that it hits my face going outwards. Now that I look scary, let's all blend it out, okay? Calm down. I like to go in with a brush first to just kind of blend it out, and then after that go over on top of it again and blending it out with a damp beauty blender. Now that I have all of my creams on, now it's time to go in with some setting spray. So one that I like to use in between all of my creams and powders is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Setting Spray. I recently just picked this one up and I am in love with her. She is amazing, she smells great, and she lasts, she holds in everything. My face is fully dried. Now I'm gonna go in with setting powder. The one that I have been using is the Dominique Translucent Setting Powder. This powder is great. It actually holds in and locks in all of my oils throughout the whole entire day, and it sets everything in place. Now, if you don't let your setting spray dry down, this will peel off your makeup. So make sure that your setting spray is all the way dry, so that way whenever you do apply your powder, your translucent powder, it is not coming off and sliding off your face. So after I dip into it, I like to go in with the back of my hand and kind of dab off any excess so that way there aren't any clumps and it looks nice and clean. And I'm going to apply that right underneath my eye. I am gonna semi-bake and kind of let it sit under my eyes just so that way I don't have any creasing at the end of this. As for winged eyeliner, this is my new baby and I actually really like this eyeliner. This is the ColourPop Liquid Liner. I love this brush. This brush isn't flimsy. It's a hard, like felt tip brush, but it's hard enough and soft enough to be able to allow you to like lightly glide on a wing, which I really love, and I feel like this is so much easier to use. If you know how to do a wing, it is so much easier to use when doing a winged eyeliner look. Hold your breath with me and let's do this eyeliner. Oh, I can't tell if they're even on camera, but I'll look. They're even. This one's a little bit thicker. No, this one's a little bit thicker than this one, so we'll go ahead and we'll make this one thicker. I'm gonna do this off camera because it's giving me too much stress. Chill. Okay, I cannot get them to be even to save my life, but this one is a little bit thicker than this one, and they're just gonna have to be sisters. They're not twins, okay? Now, let's do the tight lining. I'm gonna just go in and line the shit out of my eye. To finish off the eyes, I'm gonna go in with the ColourPop Cloud 9 palette, and I'm gonna dip into the shade. Let's do the silver shade. Yeah, let's do the silver shade. We're gonna dip into the second row, the very first shade on the left, and I'm just going to be applying it to the inner corner of my eye with my finger. Y'all, I know I look weird, but for some reason when I hit this pose, it works out really well. We are pretty much all done. I have my eyes done. Let's do in with the last and final part, which is the lip combo. I feel like every cool tone baddie that does makeup has a nice cool tone lip, and it's kind of like bubblegummy, like pastel pink colored. So the items that I picked up are the Morphe, this is a Morphe lip pencil in the shade Penthouse. This has been my favorite lip liner so far. Oh shit. I don't know about you, but I love a dramatic Cupid's bow. I like to put more emphasis on my Cupid's bow and make sure that I have a really deep V. I know that's not the style right now. A lot of people like to cover it up, but I have always been a fan of my Cupid's bow. So gotta make sure that she's nice and snatched. Now we're gonna go in with like a cool tone pink color. This one is from Reina Rebelde. This is their shade Pericosa. It is like a nude pinky gloss. Hopefully the camera can pick it up. It is very, very nude. I just like to apply that in the middle. Okay, that is the lip combo. Let's go ahead and do some B-roll, so cue the music. Okay, amigas, this is my take on a cool tone / alternative baddie makeup look. Let me know what you think. I think it came out pretty good. I actually really like it. I really have been loving like the alternative style, so I don't know what it is, but just like cool tone grays, just everything that screams spooky season, I love. I'm so excited for spooky season. I feel like this is like one step forward into that. Let me know what type of content you guys like watching and want to see from me. I think I want to film some like spooky season content, just trying to like plan for the future. So let me know what you like to see. And as always, I'll see you in another video. Bye, amigas.